News Channel 15 presents The Film Reel, the best place to find out what's coming to theaters and your TV screen. It's The Film Reel. Hello and welcome back here to The Film Reel, your number one source for movie and TV news here on News Channel 15. I'm Bryce West here for today, and we've got a bunch of news for you guys for today. It never stops. It never stops. So, yeah, pretty excited to share a lot of this stuff for you guys. So let's go ahead and get right into it with Bob Iger taking back control of the Walt Disney Company. So a while back, we reported breaking news that Bob Iger had stepped down as CEO of the Walt Disney Company, and basically his successor, Bob Chapek, became the new CEO of the Walt Disney Company. However, it seems that due to the growing concerns of the coronavirus and the effects that it may have on the company, it looks like that Bob Iger has returned to the role of CEO, replacing his successor, Bob Chapek, I presumably temporarily. Obviously, Bob Iger was ready to leave Disney in the chief executive role, and he just wanted to leave it for someone else. However, due to these unforeseen circumstances in the world right now, it looks like that Bob Iger has made the decision, or the company has made the decision, to bring back Bob Iger as the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. And I definitely think that this is probably the best idea, or I guess the best course of action that they could probably do for right now. I mean, obviously this was just terrible timing, not on anyone's fault really, but it was just like really bad timing with the new successor to Disney. He just so happened to come in right as the coronavirus was starting to amp up. Nobody ever saw this coming, and so it was one of those deals to where Bob Iger stepped down. He thought everything was lined up and ready to go. However, of course, the coronavirus came in and kind of messed up some of those plans, so Bob Iger is coming back to make sure that the company is still able to stay afloat during the coronavirus pandemic. And I definitely think that this is the right decision. It's no fault of Bob Chapek, the new, now former CEO of Disney. However, it's just one of those deals to where it's kind of hard to keep a company afloat during this time just within itself, and we'll get to that later, but let alone with a new CEO, like just fresh, like not even like a month or two ago he was just put in. So yeah, I mean, there was really no other choice but to bring in Bob Iger to take up the reins of CEO once more. I assume, of course, I have no insider knowledge of what's going on at Disney, but I assume once everything is calmed down and everything is back to normal, Bob Iger will give the role of CEO back to Bob Chapek. So, like I said, I have no insider knowledge on that. Everything could just be completely changed now. So we'll just have to wait and see on that, but that's just my presumption as of right now, that once everything with the coronavirus calms down and the company is stable again, Bob Chapek will become the CEO once more after Bob Iger relinquishes his duties again. So yeah, a bunch of crazy, complicated stuff going on here. So yeah, definitely news that I didn't expect, but I can't say that I'm surprised about, if that kind of makes sense, because obviously Bob Iger steps down, he's like, I'm done, and it's like, I mean, he did so much for the company. It was just like, okay, alright, if you want to step down, by all means, dude. I mean, you've done so much work for Walt Disney. And then he was replaced by Bob Chapek, and then he comes back. I mean, obviously it's shocking, but it's not really surprising because due to the circumstances of everything. So yeah, very interesting stuff there. In some more company news, AMC Theaters may be going bankrupt, according to a bunch of various sites reporting on this. And another thing that is shocking to hear about, but is not exactly surprising due to the current climate going on right now. AMC Theaters, I mean, obviously is losing millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars right now, because, I mean, all the theaters are shut down. They can't make any money, and right now it's unclear if AMC Theaters will even open back up at all whenever the theaters are allowed to reopen. So yeah, I mean, definitely crazy stuff out there. I mean, obviously, this goes for any business, movie theaters, whatever. Once everything opens back up, now don't go to the floodgates, but because I mean, obviously, we still want to kind of social distance even once everything is back to normal. But make sure to support local businesses and just businesses in general, because I mean, there are all of the non-essential businesses out there are really struggling. So especially AMC, of course, as I just mentioned, and so. Yeah, once I definitely believe that once everything opens back up again, we definitely need to make sure, of course, financially responsibly, of course, but we need to support the businesses and all that stuff like that, because, I mean, places like AMC could just completely shut down and never come back, and that's like thousands of people's jobs just gone like that. So I mean, it's definitely a very a very serious situation going on right now with AMC, and it's definitely not surprising that it hasn't been officially announced as of the taping of this episode, but it's definitely coming. So that they will be filing for bankruptcy, and so yeah, it's definitely very rough stuff going on right now. Of course, I mean, every week, I mean, obviously, it's not going to go away anytime soon, right? So every week, I report on something new with the coronavirus, and it's just one of those deals to where, I mean, it's new, where nothing like this has ever happened before, and so it's just one of those deals to where a lot of things that we never expected in a million years would happen is happening right now, and so it's just a crazy world that we are living in right now. So in some more not depressing coronavirus news, Survivor Season 40, the Winners at War season, all winners, the season finale will be 3 hours long. So Survivor fans will be able to look forward to a 3-hour-long season finale, the longest the show has ever had. And let me look it up here when the finale will actually be. But it's definitely very interesting to see them extend it to a 3-hour finale. Obviously, this is one of the biggest seasons of all time. And it's just one of those deals to where, like, I don't know. I mean, it's the biggest season they've ever done. All winners. I mean, the gameplay is absolutely crazy. I'm a huge Survivor fan, so I think this is just something to give to the fans. For watching for 20 years. This will be premiering May 13th, will be the season finale of Survivor Season 40, Winners at War, and it will also have a 1-hour virtual reunion show after the episode, discussing the winner and some of the different events that happened during the season. So obviously, if you watch Survivor, you know that after each finale, there's a 1-hour reunion show, and it's filmed live in New York, LA, wherever they film it now. They filmed it at both. Basically, they film it live, and obviously they can't do that anymore because of all the coronavirus stuff, and they usually had like a studio audience as well. So what they're doing is, I'm assuming they're going to do some sort of Zoom or Skype meeting or something like that, to where they can still have a reunion and talk about some of the greatest moments of the season, while still being safe as well. So it looks like that, I don't think the reunion show is counted into that 3 hours. So it looks like on May 13th, there will be 4 hours of Survivor to watch. So definitely some good news here for people, for fans of Survivor. And it's the biggest season yet, and I cannot wait to see how it all wraps up and who the winner is going to be. So in some other news, Boom Studios, one of the big comic publishers, and Netflix collaborate for a first look deal. So basically, I know a lot of people at home probably don't know what a first look deal is, and in fact, I had to look it up initially whenever I was writing an article about it for a website I work for. First look deal is basically Boom Studios develops an animated or live action series of one of their comics. And basically what a first look deal is that Netflix would basically have the right of first refusal, or basically first dibs to whatever series that Boom is developing based off of one of their comic properties. And so basically they have first dibs, and so they can choose to take it, or they can choose to let Boom sell it off to another distributor. And basically that's what the first right of refusal is in the film industry and stuff like that. A bunch of weird mumbo jumbo, but but essentially that is, in simple terms, what a first look deal is. And yeah, this is definitely big news for the company, because a while back, 20th Century Fox, now known as 20th Century, bought a non-controlling minority stake in Boom Studios, and then they had the first look deal. Now Disney has bought 20th Century, and while they still own a minority stake in Boom Studios, they no longer have the first look deal, probably because most, if not all, of the Boom Studios properties that were under 20th Century were canceled by Disney. So I assume that's probably why they didn't continue their first look deal with 20th Century. So now they're moving on with Netflix, and I definitely think that this could be a great partnership for Boom and Netflix. Obviously, Boom didn't really go the places that they wanted to with 20th Century, and it was just kind of an unfortunate circumstance of the buyout with Disney. And so I definitely think Netflix could do really good things with Boom Studio, and we will just have to wait and see how that all pans out. With that being said, we're going to move on to our next topic. Some of the most anticipated upcoming movies coming out. I've got Kane Jones and Ian Klingler coming in, sending videos, talking about some of their most anticipated upcoming movies coming out. And it could be tomorrow, it could be 3 years from now. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Hello everybody, Kane Jones here. Hope you guys are doing great, staying inside, staying healthy. Right now I just wanted to take the time to give you guys some of the films that I'm looking forward to that are coming out this year and next year. Let's get into it. This year it's a bunch of sequels. Top Gun 2, Maverick. Oh, I love that. I love the first one. It's going to be awesome. Tom Cruise, let's go. Coming to America 2. Eddie Murphy, of course I'm going to be into that. Eddie's a legend. And lastly, on the sequels, Wonder Woman 1984. My only question with that is, and concern, is how are they going to... The rumor is that they're bringing back Steve Trevor. I don't know how they're going to do that, but I'm still looking forward to the movie. The other two films are the French Dispatch, excuse me. That is an all-star cast. There's at least 50 people in the ensemble. That film's going to be awesome. And lastly, the James Bond film that's coming out in November. It's going to be Daniel Craig's last role as 007, and I'm really looking forward to that. Next year, we have the third untitled Spider-Man movie, presumably starring, of course, Tom Holland. And I'm also looking forward to any of the movies that are coming up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that are going to be a part of the next phase. Looking forward to all those. Sherlock Holmes 3, starring the one and only Robert Downey Jr., I believe comes out next year, 2021. That's going to be awesome too. And lastly, I'm looking forward to this film that had the highest opening box office for any film before Avengers Endgame, which is, drumroll please, Avatar. The first one was awesome, concept awesome. James Cameron, legendary director. The sequel has been delayed, and I don't think it was because of the virus. I think it was because James Cameron is a perfectionist, and he just wants to get it right. So that'll be coming out 2021 or 2022. We're going to wait and see, but I'm ready for it, and I'm looking forward to it. And that, my friends, are some of the films that I'm looking forward to that are coming out this year and next. Stay inside. Again, guys, be healthy, and thank you guys for watching the Film Reel. Peace.
Hey everybody, it's Ian, and these are my most anticipated movies that will be released in the future. One of the movies that I really was anticipating was the Black Widow movie, to kind of see how they would end Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow. Of course, it was pushed back from April to November, and so I think it will introduce us to some more characters in the MCU that might have more prominent roles in future movies. Also the MCU with some TV shows as well. Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki. I think those three will be very interesting. And then the new Doctor Strange movie, I think that deals with the multiverse. I'm not 100% sure, but the multiverse was mentioned in the recent Spider-Man movie, Far From Home. So I think in the Doctor Strange movie, it will emphasize that a lot more and might introduce us to new Spider-Man, possibly a new Iron Man in the multiverse. So it kind of gives us an avenue for multiverses and kind of brings back different characters into more dominant roles. So those are my most anticipated movies that will be released in the future.
Thanks to Kane and Ian, as always, for helping out with the show. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching, and this is Bryce West signing off with the Film Reel. Take care.